How's it going?
Hey, close there, that's so sweet. Yeah, well, it's, 10 feet in the air too. So they're up, they're up high, it's just.
Oh, those outlets, okay.
Yeah, those bollards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they all work it. We put the RV outlet in, but that got put in. Where they put the extra outlets on the counter. Duplex or fourplex on the counter.
Yeah, we did that window last week or last.
Yeah,
Hi there.
hi, Mark. This is the agenda that was posted, but it's wrong. That's the correct one,
Okay,
but you'll need to make an amendment or an adjustment to the agenda,
okay.
so.
What did we have?
Everyone has the correct one. I just didn't bother putting the incorrect one
So
on.
this is the correct.
Yes, so this is the one we posted, so. Usually, that's the,
Mark, is your masonry guy still the same guy who gave me like 3 or 4 months ago?
Yeah.
So he's still planning to come down there? I'll give him a call.
Yeah, it is very common.
Yeah. Yeah, last time I talked to him, he was in California someplace, but I didn't do that. So he's still alive.
Is there an extra agenda?
you have it, the correct one. Oh,
I didn't.
I'm sorry. Yes, yours, I have correct.
Oh, sorry.
Get it.
Well, we have moved on market.
We'll start that work. First thing we get the concrete down in there.
Oh, okay.
The sidewalk, that sidewalk curve, ready to cover it, things like that. Trying to get that scheduled for sometime in July.
Okay.
So you're not.
So we'll talk after.
Also,
Yeah.
whatever, I
Flagstone?
get them out of the box.
We use.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's been.
Wow, I will do that. That's
Every night.
Instantly.
Well, I mean, I changed the design too. I mean, we added that pathway from the.
Thank you so much.
You- from the entrance on Rose Street, you can go that way or you can go this way. So that little bridge in there. We added that. We got that place to do that. So it makes it flow real well.
It's a Joe, you can find it, right? It's a
From the grass or from the flower beds. Really good pathway. Flow the entire park.
Okay. Were you down for slackers to see if, the overflow is down here around town and in the park? Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I looked, I
They
personally
have the slack line too.
I don't have to go
Find somewhere, probably on top.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was there,
Yeah, I set up in the boots. The boots are really comfortable. I was thinking of like moving in.
It's pretty big one. I mean, it's got, there's no shower, line. You'll have to,
Yeah.
shower outdoors. Put a hose up
It's got a
behind it.
fireplace.
Put a hose, yeah, fireplace. Someday we may have a sink.
All right, let's go. Hi, John. How about, let's call this meeting to order. How about roll call, please?
Joan Eaton, Sean Platt, here, Cindy Neely, Betsy Blakesley, here, Keith Dawson,
Here.
Mark Reynolds,
Here.
Bob Hamilton,
Here.
Frank Danzer. Here.
Okay. Approval of the agenda. What changes did we have? Anything?
We took Mary Albertoni off because that was last meeting
Okay.
and we added. Verizon.
Verizon.
Yes, yes, you added in section 106.
Okay.
I would like to add, a discussion item. At the end, the final DRC inspection of. I think it's
1114, Emily.
1114 Griffith Street.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How about you give us approval?
Move to approve the agenda as rendered.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Audience business, members of the audience will have 5 minutes to present any matter of concerns to the commission. No official action may be taken at this time. Anybody here for that?
That's, yeah.
Okay, come on up. Just come right up here and sit in that chair. Tell us what you got going on. Let me go ahead.
Back us.
Hi, would you introduce yourself?
I absolutely will. My name is Lisa Kubler Von Gunn. My connection to Georgetown is the greenhouse kitty corner from this old school was my grandmother's home. So it's the greenhouse with the bottles in the window at 790 Taos Street.
Okay,
We also, so my father now owns it because my grandmother passed, and there's a little cabin on that
right,
property.
log cats.
The log cabin.
Yeah,
And then we, in 2021, also bought the Rutledge House.
okay,
And so we'll be bringing forward to you next time, but I don't know, Keisha suggested I come today and just introduce
Sure.
myself. 2 different proposals that we'd like you to consider. The first one regarding the cabin, there's an old bedroom that my father added in 1970.
right,
And we'd like to demolish that and just restore the cabin to its original footprint,
Okay.
keeping it all the same, just taking off the bedroom that was added.
sure,
So that's the first one. There are a couple of other things that we'd like to do as well. Updating a couple of windows, adding a door in the back, but we won't change anything about the cabin from the street view.
Are you guys familiar with what we're talking about? Right across from where Robin Mitchell was.
Yeah.
The little log cabin there.
It's,
And I'll be talking about there.
But you will have to
I will wait.
send to us the changes for the windows and stuff like that. You have to-
yeah, so I have a whole packet in case it has, you know, and so you all do that, but that's kind of what the cabin looks like.
Oh, okay. I know.
That cute little cabin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that is the first proposal.
Okay,
And you will see there, I've outlined all the proposed scope of what we'd like to do.
I don't think we have a problem with that. Just on the system.
No,
Just,
bring it back to what it was today. That's good.
That'd be great. So thank you very much. And then the second proposal is regarding what is the pink house on the corner of Griffith and 8th. So the little pink house
Oh, yeah,
as it
yeah.
currently stands. I should have brought bigger. I didn't know what to do here, so.
what are you gonna do with that?
So what we'd like to do is install a new roof, because the roof deck is really failing in certain areas. We'd like to re-side it, with fiber, glass siding, not fiberglass siding, but hardy cement fiber siding that is non-combustible. And then we'd like to do some new windows. And so what are outlined here are wood windows that mirror exactly what the existing look is, but they're in, hi Cindy.
You're
And
not gonna change openings, sizes or anything?
not a thing, so
Okay.
not gonna change the look of the house, not change the footprint of the house, but we're just gonna update the structure of the house. We
Okay.
found it very difficult to ensure because of all of the old
Oh, yeah.
things. You guys probably know that better than I do.
And so it'll stay pink. forever.
It probably will not
this
stay
is-
pink. Will not stay pink,
Audience business, I'm sorry.
but there is a rendering that is an idea of what it might look like, obviously not like that, but I know that color is not something within the purview of the
Yeah,
DRC.
I was just curious.
I know, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot of people that are kind of sad about
I'd
that.
rather send-
I completely understand that, but we will keep all the trim and be very true to all of the history. We'll tie in some paint, just maybe not quite so much.
Okay,
So,
no, I think it's all sounds good and just get on the agenda.
Right.
There you go.
wonderful. Thank you so much. Keisha, I think we have everything in, so if you have any questions, you'd like to do a tour or anything like that, we'd be more than happy to do that. So, all right, thank you. I'm
You've done your homework.
Huh?
That's-
trying, so thank you very much for your time.
Okay, any other audience business? Okay, 918 Tahoe's. Leonard, come on up, sit down on the hot seat. This one's pretty hot itself.
It's more comfortable to do it.
Yeah.
That makes the meeting go faster.
Okay.
This is, a
preliminary review.
Yeah,
Okay.
just trying to get educated to see what's allowed.
Okay. Why don't you start by giving us your name and address?
Leonard Dietz, my home address is 1027 Biddle Street, Georgetown, Colorado.
And this is for 918 Tahoe's,
Correct,
and this is a vacant lot by the garage, right?
correct.
Oh. But that's not on us,
No.
No, that's on River. It's in the back.
so it's.
You know what the address is for sure of Griffin, where the garage is?
Well, the garage is right behind the house.
Yeah.
So there's not a specific number.
Is it one lot? Is that what's going on?
No.
Yeah, the whole lot is 12,500 square feet.
And.
Is everything according, to what the assessor puts out there.
Yeah, facing Powell Street there. Looking for in the works. Facing Powell Street is the lot that it sits on Powell Street.
Right.
And there is approximately 25 feet of the next lot over here and 10 feet of this lot over there. And the lots in back, which is where this is, there are essentially two. I mean, as far as where you get to 12,500 feet, you have,
That includes the front.
Have those 4 or 5? 1, 2, 3, I guess 3. Three and a.
Three and a couple.
Have they all been combined, legally combined into a single lot?
no,
Yes,
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 there's
So-
they are.
they are legally one lot right
So that, before anything could be built on that, you would have to subdivide it,
now.
right?
Correct, and one of the reasons that Leonard is doing a preliminary is because the land use issues are not sorted at this point. Him and I are still working on that part of it. Something that we weren't sure about as far as potentially splitting up the lots was whether or not it would be acceptable to separate the carriage house from the primary structure, since they are currently in the front of the same address, so.
Why does it not show in the assessor's records as a single property if the property? Have those lines actually been vacated?
So there, I had a full conversation with Matt Taylor about this. They don't actually eliminate the lot lines when they combine them. What they do is they just put this little zigzag.
Yeah, I'm not talking about clear map, I'm talking about the assessor's record.
I don't know about that one, so, but clear map
Because if you clear out your lot lines, the assessor is then assessing. One piece of property, and they usually at the assessor's records, because I got this thing, my diagram I didn't bring. Off of the assessor's records, but you have gone through the process with the town of vacating lot lines.
No, I never did. I inherited the house when my mother passed, so I have.
No, the lot lines still exist.
not according to clear maps.
Well,
Clear
that's not,
maps is not a formal record of land ownership.
According to all of the records that Leonard had given me for this preliminary review, it is one lot.
He would have to have gone through the process of vacating the lot lines.
As
With,
far as I can, he inherited it.
It could have been done by prior owner,
it could have been, except he inherited it.
right, but there were. Your mother bought the house just a few years ago.
Yeah, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, so. You'd have to look back through the property records and find out what. What the legal story is for the lot,
But I,
for those lots, or, and get that cleared up.
sometimes you can't go by clear map.
no,
You need to go to the assessor and really research and look at the titles and see what's been transferred, what's been divided. The property record needs that.
According to what I got off the assessor's website, it shows. That I interpret as everything was 12,500 square feet for everything.
yes,
And so I pay one tax bill, I don't pay 2 separate tax bills with that.
So wouldn't that pretty much support the fact that they're being combined?
No, because I sit, right down the street here, I sit on part of 7, all day, part of 9, part of 10. All those lines are still there, and I get one tax bill.
Oh, okay.
I have never
So
vacated a
they've never
single
been,
line.
they've never been changed.
I have said to the assessor that I don't consider the extra space to be anything but yard. And so they have allowed us how you could get one tax bill for the whole thing. It simplifies it for the assessor. It does not mean I have vacated my lot lines. It's not a difficult thing to do.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it's sort of that one is simple. You come in to the town and with a plat and say, this is what I've got, and I don't want these lines here. I want them taken out. And that's, it simplifies everything, but right now the assessor is saying they are assessing 25 feet of this and 10 feet of that, and this lot and these 2 lots. So that's, what I think now.
So,
Art school,
so, I mean, that needs to get resolved, because presumably if you wanna build a house on one of the pieces that make up. What's showing up as 918. That piece would need to be broken into a separate lot.
but if I wanted to enlarge that lot, I can take property off what's behind the house, or can I subdivide it? To, when I figured 12,500 square feet, I think when I figured it out, if I kept the house on a 5,500 square foot lot and used a 7,000 square foot lot on the back to build the new house, but then the issue was from her, can I separate the carriage house from the historic house on the front? Or
Well,
would
that,
I
yeah,
mean, I'm not gonna tear it down, but I mean,
yeah, but could you separate it? I'm not totally sure is what that answer is. However, if you had come in with a plan to build a house on the lot where you have the carriage house, then you are not leaving the carriage house, as a solo thing, get on the lot. You
with the house,
Yeah, because your house is up here.
Right.
Carriage house is here.
right?
If you create this as one lot up towards Tower Street. And then you create this as one lot here. As long as you have plans to make this lot a house and carriage house.
I could just leave the carriage house with the new house.
With the new house.
Yeah, that was my thought, cause I thought I could chop it up and take 30 feet between the garage and the house. Keep the carriage house connected to the dog run to the house. That would be all kind of jazzed up.
That'd be a little tough.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, my problem with the carriage house, I had a thought which scared me. And I thought I better check the foundation on the carriage house. And there is one, and it's called dirt. So I wanna get concrete under that to hold it so it doesn't disappear. You know, cause I mean, it's part of history of the town, so that's another project that I thought I would have to do.
But so if you wanted to say, okay, in my future, I'm gonna take those 2 lots along the river and they're gonna be one lot. And I'm going to put a house on it so that carriage house, it becomes associated with a house.
Right,
What we can't do is take a nice big lot and put a garage on it.
right,
That is
By itself.
by itself.
yeah, right,
So we can't let the garage just sort of stay there by itself, but if you have an entire plan that you have come forward with.
I wanna put a house on it.
That you're putting a house that's going to go with that carriage house. Then I think that I'm not sure that whether they would decide that it needed some form of adjustment to do that. But what you are doing is, you know, if it was a house back there that had that thing at the garage, that would be fine.
Right,
So in a sense, you know, that's.
So the carriage house could still belong to 918.
well, it could be connected by the dog run, but it would be kind of cluster.
Because you are taking so much property off to stay with that lot, that you do not have sufficient place to put another house.
Well, that's the question. I don't know how big the lot is. It's adjacent, the empty lot. If that's 5,000 square feet, then you're.
No, it's not.
It's not
5,000.
this-
Well, I mean, it's 5,000 if I go in and chop up the other lot to get 5,000, but I'm trying to. See, my concern is if I made the new house an accessory building, that would be easy, but then I was told that I could never sell it separate.
No,
My concern when I'm dead, I don't want whoever, if I still own it, I don't want my heirs to be trying to figure this out and get rid of it. So my thought is, I'm trying to simplify it when I die. And I hope I live at least another few years.
This would be a lot cleaner, putting that building with the new building.
Good, that's what I was hoping,
Yeah.
fingers were crossed,
That'll
so,
give you your square footage. which you
exactly,
need. So I think that's the cleanest way to do it.
awesome, and that's what I was hoping to do.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to get information, I'm not an artist, obviously, so on the garage, it's basically a flat roof. What I would like to do is put a stub wall, put another roof to cover the garage, and then cover the carriage house, leave the existing roof of the carriage house, but to match the roof line, it would look better. And in that way, it gives the carriage house two roofs and gives it protection.
I don't think we've got a problem with that.
Okay, and then the other thing is, I was looking at your stuff. To me, to get the maximum space for the second story on the garage would be like a gabled or a barn roof, but I don't think you accept those, do you?
I don't.
Okay.
Are you talking about putting a whole second story on the garage?
Yeah, but what I want is my wife to have
Whole second story.
a she shed, basically, so she can.
Okay, you said you're just gonna put up a knee wall, I presume it'd be a 4-foot wall.
About 4 or 5 foot wall and then do the roof to make sure that it gives enough room to stand up.
All we can say at this point in time is go ahead and draw it up and bring it to us. and that's-
Okay. Okay, cause like I said, my wife, she's always wanted a she shed and that to me would be perfect above the garage with her artwork and all her knitting and you can blame his wife for all the knitting. Just kidding, Bob.
At least all the yard.
So, yeah, okay, I'll put all that together and then come back and see what goes from there.
Yeah, but Leonard, you know, when, the folks who are in charge of lot lines, look at this, they may say that in order to do that, you do need to ask for a variance, but
Right.
as long as you're ending up with pieces of property that are at least 5,000 square feet, and as long as a house is on each one of those, I think you're about.
Yeah, because when I computed it, I figured if I was at the front house with 5,500 square feet and then the back with the 7,000 square feet. That seemed to make sense to me because it would give like 10 feet off the house and it would give them a little bit of a backyard and still, and part of the dog run, so.
That's down the street, yeah, and you know, the lot has an extra 10 feet towards where Nancy Hill is, and an extra 25 feet towards, Sandra and,
Yeah,
yes.
Okay,
And so that lot, I don't, you know, you can't
Okay.
pick up from the assessor where the 12,500 square feet is, they just tell you, all of this is 12,500 square feet.
I will go over to the assessor's office and have a discussion with them and get that lot line removed and or,
The town does that,
oh, the town.
the
So-
town does that.
In order to adjust the lot lines, and part of this will be the survey, you're gonna submit a subdivision exemption.
Yeah, my son-in-law is a surveyor, so I got a discount rate.
So you get, so they,
Okay,
Casey will tell you what else, you know,
awesome.
paperwork, but you gotta clear up the lines in order to pull this off
Okay,
and maybe we'll find that someplace somebody did, but it's not.
but I'll verify it. Yeah,
Well, yeah, the survey will have to go back and look at it.
okay, awesome.
okay, cool.
Made my day. Thank you.
About the design for the house on the vacant lot.
But yeah, I think I gave everybody. It's similar, it's the first one they built on Main Street. It's that similar design. It'll be a little smaller probably, but it's similar.
Like a story and a half.
Yeah, it won't have a garage as big as that was.
The lot coverage, but
And type of hire.
Yeah, it's,
What we're supposed to do is we're supposed to look at all of the historic houses that are in your neighborhood.
okay,
Determine their heights and make sure you're in the same range as the historic.
because I know the house right behind is 2 stories. So I'm sure it's pretty similar.
Well, I think that we want to make.
Yeah, I'll get-
Part of what happened on Main Street, everything is a little larger than you would want to put in an area that's full of historic homes.
Sure, okay, I will make sure I do that. Thank you very much, everyone.
I have to apologize for the half of this issue.
Mark,
Yes.
David here would like to have an audience business item if you're willing to.
Sure, come on up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me speak. I know I'm not on the agenda. I'm David Clare and my wife is here is Tanya,
Hi there.
and we have a home at 915 Taos.
Okay.
We also have 3 rental properties here in the city, and we're doing the slow move up here because we still have twin 16-year-olds in high school, so we still have to go back to Texas with them.
Okay.
Been coming here for 10 years and we've owned for 4 years. So I have a house at 800 Main Street. In fact, Miss Neely, I think it's right below you, right?
It is.
And we have a house on Main Street that has an extra lot on it that in the 1870s used to have a house on it and doesn't have a house on it now. It's 3,125 square feet, so it's non-conforming to what the rules are. 3,750 square feet, I believe, is what it's supposed to be. But what it- Yeah, with a variance, you can go 25% less, I believe.
The variance exists because there are some lots that are plotted in this town, and so they are pre-existing, non-conforming.
Yes, ma'am.
We are not supposed to create lots that are less than 5,000 square feet.
Yes, ma'am, and I understand. I have noticed they're building $1 million+ houses right down the street. There is a regulation in your handbook, if I may read it to you. Historic residential district intent. It is the intent of the regulations established in this section to maintain the primarily single-family, small lot residential characteristic of the district, to retain the historic pattern of compact development and site design, and to ensure that new construction in the district is in harmony with and does not detract from the historic building styles and designs in the district. That's 17.16.041. What I'm proposing is to build a small house, not a $1 million mansion like it's going up right now, $1 million+. I would like to look into the possibility of building about a 1,200 square foot house on lot 6, which already had a house on it back in the 1870s. There are other properties in the neighborhood. Carolyn Basket owns a house right on the creek, and it's a 1,200 square foot house, and it's on a 750 square foot lot. It's very small, but its time period, it blends right in with the neighborhood. And that's something like I would like to do, is to put something on that lot that blends in with the neighborhood also. And that's just one example, but there's a 1010 Taos, which is down the street from us, is on a smaller lot. And it's now under contract to sell for a considerable amount of money. It needs to be completely redone. This would be a new build though, but it would look similar to the other houses in the neighborhood. If I may, I'll show you. This is what I got from downstairs. I don't have enough. Everybody, please share. This is Main Street. And it does have 50-foot frontage. It has a 50-foot frontage and the backside of it is Biddle. So it doesn't, it's smaller, but it does have a building on it. In fact, it has a shed that was put on some years ago. but it did have a house on it in the 1870s. Mr., I think it was Davenport. If you all know him, maybe y'all do.
This is land use code stuff.
Yes, it is.
Mike Davenport.
Yeah, it really is. At this point, this is the land use code. We can't, I'm trying to explain a little of that for Mr. Dietz, and what I would say here is that we cannot create lots that are less than 5,000 square feet. And it's not up to this commission to discuss changing that at all.
Yes, ma'am, but this lot already exists. It's the lot's already there. It's always been there. It's right next to the Anderson Park.
People, we don't
Yeah,
get
we
to
can't give you, I
decide
mean, we
what,
can't give you,
Oh, I'm just breaking ice because I'm
Okay.
learning how to do
yeah,
this.
'cause I don't know if this goes to the planning commission or the town or.
It may.
We need to come to B first, and then we can talk about what your options are.
Okay, but that's fine. I'm just, like I say, we got in, I was too late to get on the agenda. I didn't have time to look it all up.
Yeah.
I've been working on the property since I got here, but we would like to at least consider the possibility of building a small house on that lot, which would be in conformance with the other properties that are already there in the neighborhood. Not $1 million house. We're having, we're building a lot of
Yeah,
$1 million
yeah,
houses.
Where we would get in is once the land use issues are resolved, then your plans for the house would come to us.
Mhm.
We would look at, and the first thing that we would look at, which is outside of our purview, but we look at it anyway, is setbacks and lot coverage.
Right.
And building height,
yeah, that's part of the land.
Okay.
and that's all, I mean, that, you have to meet all of that criteria.
Yeah, this is not gonna happen next week. This is gonna take a little while. Where do I go first?
Lady.
Yeah, right, it's clarification.
KAYSHA?
Right there.
A business card, please.
TV show.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Would say the same thing we did say in this week's, we don't control you being able to use a non-standard lot. And he's got 12,500 square feet, so he can figure out how to get two standard lots.
Yes, ma'am.
It is not our purview. to
Right.
start,
Understand.
saying, oh, yes, it would be wonderful. to put
Okay,
Houses.
Well, I-
1,200 Square feet is not tiny, and you can look at that neighborhood.
well, Carolyn Baskett's house is 1,200 square feet, but it looks small because of the way it's set up. It's 2-story and it's a small house. With that said, I know nothing's gonna get resolved and I wouldn't expect it to. And like you, I would like to watch the TV this evening. So if it's okay, I will go ahead and I'll take off, but thank you for your time and let me talk to you.
No, you have, once you get through this, then on that.
Sure. May I have those back? Please, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, do we have any person on the horizon here? Online? Okay. There's things.
Yes.
Small.
We do have anything online?
No.
No. Is this,
I looked at this looks like it's all up on the roof and getting to
It's replacing what's.
replacing there, it's.
It's in the same configuration, if you look at the.
what is this on the firehouse?
Yes.
And what we are asking to do is make it black. And yes, but when they replace things, they like to do things in shiny.
I thought they were just going inside and replace.
No, it's the smokestack thing, it's a pretty good like that. I think they're getting replaced.
Yes.
Oh, they got.
From what I can tell, it looks like they get another 2.5 feet.
2.5 feet tall.
No, it's the existing truck.
It's the height.
Oh, good job.
And what we actually been said to them over the years is make it black.
Yeah.
We start putting shiny stuff up there and. I can buy it tonight, I've never noticed them. Oh, yeah, they don't buy it. Well, they're there. Yeah, they're there. It's obviously there, but you don't even know.
Again, 2 feet taller, that's a lot,
It's a lot.
especially if they're already at 38.
No,
No, they're not 30.
no, they might be 6 foot.
That's the total height from the ground.
That's what I mean, it's tall.
When you look at all of these, what are you doing?
They're putting green units inside.
They're putting units inside of them.
Yeah, but they're, boxes are putting them outside still.
Yeah, I mean, if you plot it, you show the new shroud,
Yeah, they're not.
and then call for new shroud, 3 new Verizon.
It's 36 too, and they're gonna go up to 38.
Oh, no, it says an existing roof canopy, but they get that. So they're going in the same cans that are.
That's a release. And those are independent.
Yeah, so they're inside the cans,
Okay.
and they're painting the conduit, the cables brown.
Brown and black.
Yeah, brown, federal standard, 595,
Yeah, you got it, Forest Service brown.
that's what it says.
You know what, I'd like to have the representative on the line.
Really?
So we can talk to them, make sure we're one on one with the
Yeah,
color.
that's what I was thinking.
I think nice there, you know, they talk about any of the new electrical, make sure it's clean. So I'd like to see somebody table this, I think.
I move that we table this until,
Can we look at our dates? And currently, South, it looks like they're actually lowering it by 2 inches.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
How big a push are they on this? This is, okay.
What I could do though is send them a letter letting them know that we've reviewed it and we want to talk to them about
Yeah.
it.
Please.
Okay.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, but it has these things had, what they're essentially doing is a section 106
Oh, that's right.
review, and section 106 process has a deadline.
Okay.
yeah,
And
it's
you
like
have
now.
30 days to comment from the date of the letter. So we have until July 13th.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we send them a letter, say you want to talk to them.
And your next meeting is the 11th, I think?
Is that good enough?
I think that's good enough, as long as we're prepared to, you know, write out a response and get it into them. And we would send it to them. We would also hopefully send it to the Chapeau's office. I like to hit both places with a send the letter to them like they're supposed to, and they're supposed to turn those letters over to the state.
Do you want to come up with a list of things we're concerned about right now?
Yes, so they know it.
What's our concern, folks? Color,
Color and any changes in height.
any changes in height?
Yeah, they're putting new equipment inside the fenced off area,
Excuse me.
so if it's inside, that's fine, but we wanna make sure that
You know,
anything coming out through walls or roof or anything.
I would guess that they're probably gonna rewire the whole thing up to the roof. So that was running the conduit.
like that.
Yeah, it looks like they have it running up the side, so we want to know that that's gonna be covered and painted.
Yep,
Yeah,
But we wanna have a conversation about it.
yes, but we think
Which
it's
one?
up front, what we want to talk
So
about.
they know what they're gonna have to address.
There's no place better side for that opinion, right?
yeah, they're saying that they're gonna put in new waveguide cable to follow that existing cable. And they're saying that the cables are to be painted the brown color.
So Susan, what did you have down as the things we were going to talk to them on?
That you wanna talk to them about? Color, height, the new equipment, any new equipment is covered and painted.
And any exterior cabling, or do I call it cabling or whatever you call
They're calling it cable.
it, cabling? And we essentially want to verify it, because they are saying that this is brown and this is We want to know that we're identifying everything properly.
Yeah, we also have a
motion to table.
we don't want this to get done, and they say, oh, we said.
We would like to.
Right.
In front of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it covered what we're concerned about, but we just wanna confirm that with them.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Yes, so we're. In front of it.
Bob had a motion.
Yeah, I would say we, write a letter to Verizon informing them we would like to confirm.
What's the
Our concerns with, color and height, so forth.
All right, somebody want to second that?
That's a second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yes,
May I ask Jason to grab that letter?
thank you.
That would be really good.
Okay. Yeah, it exists. Oh, status. What kind of staff report you got there, Bill?
Well, I wasn't here most of last week, so not a ton of updates. I did hear back from Libby at the library. That project is not funded yet. The reason that she got the COA so early was to get funding, so, you know, they'd done that process and the grant people knew that it was gonna be permitted. She said that she understands the process and will come back and do the appropriate, COA renewal when they do get funded. So that's where that project is at.
Okay, so but when did that, if you happen to know, when did that, COA disappear?
Disappear, that COA is, I think it was in 2022, so
Yes, so it's been a while.
been a while.
That's why it's hard to find, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I think that, we know they're gonna come back sometime, so keep their material someplace that it's findable. And then we take it off the list until we hear from them.
Yep.
Okay,
That seems to make sense. On 700 Towers,
Mhm.
I have sort of a crazy idea. We have now a fairly substantial bank account for, in case we needed to go into a property and do, because a little piece of sales tax revenue has been going into creating this bank account now for a few years. What would we do? If, for instance, we had on 700 Towers, if we had to take the legal action of saying, you're not getting this repaired, so we're gonna ask the judge to let us enter your property and repair it. And we will put a lien on the property to get that money back. I mean, but we're not charging a bunch of interest, we just put a lien on the property and get that money back. My question, and maybe it's a question for Jerry, is could a property owner actually ask us to do that?
well, interesting.
Yeah, in fact, low, or no interest loan to.
Well, it's not wrong because you put a lien on it, they don't.
Well, yeah, but I mean, effectively for them, I mean, they need to pay it like that.
Well, they don't need to pay it back until they sell the property.
Yeah.
And on some of these, we're not talking about things that have great expenses. When I look at, some others have bigger expenses, I'm not making it. But no, it just occurs to me because I know that Vince has difficulty with ladders, has difficulty getting up there, and here we sit on a pot of money to make these kinds of preservation things. Or else, is it reasonable for us to say to the board that we have this now preservation fund sitting there? Are we permitted in certain circumstances to make small grants? I mean, don't we have a way to help this rather than taking it to court and saying, you know, you've been bad and You know, that
I would
seems,
say the grand approach,
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
but I, that, I
That
mean,
money's probably tied up in a, like, probably designated to be in that specific.
yeah, I'm not sure we can do.
Yeah.
well, or something like that, where the town has money that we see, we have identified properties that are on our list that are, we're concerned about, you know, the maintenance on.
Yeah.
And if the owner can't afford
They
to
need
get it done,
a little paint and some.
can the town help? I mean, that would be a question for Rick and Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a budget for this.
If
I
we,
would rather see it go to a needy property owner than to a lawyer. Yeah,
yes, and
Or bank.
essentially, that's what I'm saying. Could we get a little bit creative with the fact that we're sitting on this fund and, but you, I mean, you. I don't know whether it's even legally possible.
Yeah.
And then you would have to have a level of qualification with me that. But still,
I think you have to attach some kind of interest to it. To help keep that,
keep the fund there.
yeah.
Well, we-
I mean, hypothetically, Vince could just tell us, I'm not going to do this,
Yeah.
and then we would go through that procedure,
But
so.
then we'd have to take him to court.
Mhm.
And we
Right.
would have to get a judge to say, yes, you may enter his property.
Mhm.
And putting somebody through that is just seems to me.
Do we have to, or can he just give us permission to enter the property?
That's
Oh, this is a
good.
Jerry question.
That's
isn't it?
But then we place a lien on the property.
Right,
You do it, but the whole thing is a jury question of
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
flexible can we make this? What kind of things can we do? Because if we draw money down in that fund, it automatically refills.
Yeah.
Because it was existed to get filled to a certain point.
Right,
And so if it draws down a little, you know, it's gonna get refilled to that point again. So it's, and I'm not suggesting we do big projects. I mean, we're not gonna re-side anybody's house, but what we're talking about is a coat of paint would help preserve the
well,
wood.
would prepare a court thing.
Yeah,
And then basically,
Yeah.
So,
that's
in
it.
that
Easy
case,
stuff.
that's what it would be. In the case of a
Yes.
barn, it may be a whole
and
structure.
the barn, a big deal.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll ask Mary and Jerry and Rick.
Yeah, you know, that we'd like to maybe get a little bit more
Okay.
creative about our.
I mean, it'd be nice to be able to approach people in town that are in need and say, hey, we can help.
Yes, it would be very nice.
And I mean, that would like so much goodwill to the town.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that's great. And, you know, I talked to Vince on Monday, and he's having a hard time, so.
Yeah, he's having a hard time. We can't figure out how to help us.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a great idea, Cindy.
what about Excel?
what about Koski?
What about it? Drive by there and take a look.
Yeah, there's been people working out there every day.
Porches,
Yeah.
there's work on the porch going on.
Denver.
Yeah, so we can look.
Okay, because we need to know that, that's what I'm asking you. Yes, yeah, no, you were trying one, I know.
We had a little problem that's on the back of the building in Bob saw, that we had to tear out a wall in that kitchen area and it just rotted away, there wasn't anything left. So we reset it and put some sheeting on, all over the sheeting, which is that green stuff. And then we started on the front porch because the front porch was ready to fall in.
Yes, it is.
And so we're in the process, we have all the floor joists in it and, new supports, and now we're dealing with the roof. The roof is rotted out from it. And we're trying, naturally, as we're going, trying to straighten it out, and we're going. And it's
I mean,
just rotted.
the roof porch.
The roof of the porch, it's gonna have to be all redone. So,
Are the shingles on the side of that house asbestos?
I don't know, we're not messing with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
We didn't even hear that.
Don't ask me, don't touch.
yeah. You don't mess with it,
An authoritative source asked me that question, and it was like.
I'm sure,
no.
but we're not really touching it. What we're trying to do is work around that for right now. And then being all honest, those shingles right now are protecting the old siding might be a chance where they could save some of that siding. Especially on the north side, I think that'd be a way. Have you taken a look at that, your neighbor,
Yeah. Wait, the what?
Kowski's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I gone inside there?
No, around the outside.
Oh, yeah, I walked around the other side.
See that asphalt shingle they put on it. Has covered the old wood siding. Well, we kind of scooped around there, it looks like it's done a pretty good job at saving some of that siding.
We've had that happen in 2 other houses which had that kind of asphalt shingle. That they put on, one of them is on the top of Tower Street that Shane Henry lives in now. And that was simply amazing because a large percentage of the wood siding was underneath it, and as they started to take it off, I mean, this whole house emerges. The other one was what Chimmer owns on Rose Street, right up across from you. Yeah. And
Oh, on the corner.
down the corner, yeah, no, so.
Well, this one was done about the same time the one up on the hill was,
Ah, okay.
yeah, so hopefully. But anyway, that's where we're at, and it's gonna wait. Yeah.
Are you still gonna cut that opening into the curb cut? Are you gonna still try to get a curb cut for that middle lot?
We're gonna wait and see what the town does with the sidewalk. That's the only reason I brought that up was I wanted to make sure, you know. That we're not doing a sidewalk in town, we'll do a curb cut. If the town's gonna redo the sidewalk, then we'll definitely come before you to try to get a curb cut going. We've already placed, the water line's been replaced in there and the sewer line, we're pretty sure, years ago. Cause I don't want to work on that stone wall, so I make sure all this is.
Yeah.
Line there, go under, yeah. And the stone wall is, we're gonna have to separate it. Or a concrete pad, reset it on pad. That's the best way.
Tear down, rebuild.
Yeah,
Is it dry stone or?
it's got some mortar in between it.
It does, it's cut down.
Yeah, but we won't put a hole, if we get the opportunity to do that, we will. Number all the stones as they come off and we will put very little mortar in between them. Just try to match what's there. It's all depends on the money situation, so. But we're trying, we won't let it fall down if we possibly can.
Well, DRC just announced a new micro grant that you can apply for, so.
There you go. That's it for Custom.
Okay.
My pleasure.
And are we gonna try to get out of here for the debate?
Yeah,
Cause I'm gonna try.
unless there's something, anything else on this big one, anything we really need to talk
I
about?
just wanted to let you know about HB 211110, which is an accessibility mandate by the state of Colorado to make sure that all government services are accessible to all members of the public, including disabled people. One of the big projects that I will be trying to do, or perhaps outsourcing, is converting the DRC guidelines into an accessible document, which is gonna take some time, but I just wanna let you know.
It cost a lot of money.
It's gonna cost a lot of money, so that is a big document, and there's a lot of things that will need to be tagged because of the way it's formatted, so. But just so you know.
Okay,
I mean, it's really creating havoc in the government agencies, total havoc. And in the development of I-70, you just had to take all of the public record off of the websites, and you can't. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was looking for meeting notes from 2 or 3 years ago, they're gone.
They're gone, it's all gone. The fact that they
Yeah.
make this darn thing, that's,
No,
no.
they're in.
You just have to do a FOIA request now for stuff that used to be on the website, so.
Yeah, and but it's very difficult to research any of it, and to make that law retroactive. I mean, I can see passing it, but to make it retroactive for all documents, who wasn't thinking about what state agencies have out there that people use?
What does it take to make an accessible document?
So I haven't done training on the software yet, but it's something called Common Look that. For a screen reader to correctly read a PDF, for example, it needs to know like where the title is, what the pictures are. Where the beginning of a paragraph is, like especially like columns are really confusing to screen readers apparently, because it reads it straight across.
So you reformat absolutely everything.
Yeah,
It's not just OCR.
Yeah, that's a big decision.
Because
No,
OCR is easy.
it was
That is not a good decision.
OCR.
No, it's a lousy.
But that's easy. If it has to be reformatted, that's not easy.
Well, I don't think we have to reformat the guidelines, but we do have to tag it appropriately so that accessibility tools can interact with it correctly.
That's not as easy.
Yeah, so.
It's, you know, the price tags, the people like see that, that's, you know, it's just.
Okay, anything else?
What is this, 405 H Street, what? how-
That was audience business before you got here. The reason I wanted to talk to you was because demolition, as far as I know, is something that's a little touchy, so I just wanted her to check with you before she paid the money for the application, that demolishing that addition so that reverts back to the original structure was okay. So that was the only reason I asked her.
Yeah, we just get hesitant, you have to demolish the stuff. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, Excel update is Excel seems to have gone to sleep for a while.
That's exciting. They were at CML. I
I'm
couldn't.
sure they were. The other one is, this says no match grant is available. So you mean it for designated local historical sites? What you mean is a grant with no match?
Yes. Wait, what did I say?
You said, well.
Oh, I'm sorry. A no match in parentheses, or like, yeah.
Yes.
No match,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, okay, what next step would be, would you please tell us the dates that, you know, give us the calendar. Of when that, when we have to explain what we were talking about,
Mhm.
yeah, because we would need a calendar for that one,
We did respond to the Muscovite structure letter. That's kind of out of DRC's jurisdiction at the moment.
yes, it is.
Yeah, and then I don't have any updates on 704 4th Street, except that I did confirm the address and the historic signage policy. I don't know if any of you have any updates on that, or that list that you created at some point. But I should look at the
I
minutes.
haven't been able to look through the book.
Okay. Any idea of roughly what year that was that you did it, so I could look through the minutes?
No,
Okay, that's okay.
it was the year that I was on the commission.
Oh, well, that narrows it down.
Before I was, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember. that.
Yeah, well, and I've been off of it since the day it was born, so, you know, that's a problem.
Might be something we just need to redo.
Yes, and we certainly could redo it, and, you know, we wanna know the signs that actually relate to our historic periods. And then signs that are perhaps after that period, but have meaning for us.
Okay.
So that's pretty easy, it's pretty easy to figure out which ones are before 1907. And there are a few. Okay,
All right.
Yeah.
How about minutes? Anybody look at the minutes?
While people are looking at the minutes, let me just bring up very brief.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Bob.
Sorry, Bob.
I did a final walk down, and then I compared it against the drawings of one of Jeff's houses on Griffith. Okay, the very patriotic red, white, and blue house.
The new one,
Mhm.
the new one?
Yeah,
Okay.
other than the usual, he's got a few things sticking to the wall that need to be painted, he knows about that. That's a follow-up item that happens all the time. He had removed the gingerbread detail at on the front gable, and he put back in a little front gable thing, which, you know, I don't have a problem with it. It looks all right to me. The big thing was the back of the house. He extended the gable, you know, I could pass this around. It was supposed to kind of look like the front of the house with the gable with the two shed doors setback. So we changed the roof line. That was not on the plans that were approved by Safe Build, so it got built. And this is the first time it's picked up, that's the only thing, I don't know what you do about it at this point.
Well, always.
You asked him if he ever wants to build anything else in this
Well,
town.
he does, we've already approved one to go right between this house and the one.
I say we bring him in and make him
Yeah.
explain why he did it.
Right, yep,
I know why he did it, he wanted, it was probably, he wanted to, create a loft instead of being open upstairs, it's a half loft.
no, we don't get to do
You
that.
don't get to redesign it.
No,
Yeah,
we don't
but
get to
that's-
redesign it.
That was the only thing that
Was the
I,
non-safe builds, said, I wonder,
No,
yeah, it is not on safe builds, his safe builds approves that.
so he went ahead and just did it on his own.
Yeah.
Well, then he's gotta have it re-engineered, have safe builds sign off on it. He may end up taking off some drywall so they can see the frame, which he's already done on another one.
But I mean,
They,
so first we were.
why is safe build picking this stuff up?
Now, should I?
Safeco doesn't care.
No, they don't care.
They don't care.
As long as the structure looks right, they don't care.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, that looks nice. Well, and
Yeah.
for some reason, this town.
Is that up to seal one?
Inspection.
Somebody
Has
living in
decided
that
to
one?
back and take them.
Somebody living in that one?
No, it is,
He
it's,
shouldn't get a
No
seal.
occupancy permit.
he doesn't have a CO on that yet.
Yeah.
Or should he get a temporary or anything?
Do we need to contact Safe Built and?
no, I'm handing this over to, the way it's supposed to work is that someone from DRC does an inspection. If there's anything of significance, it should come here, and then it should go to Kasia.
Well, then it should go to the town attorney in this
Well,
case.
and yeah, that's up to, that's up to the town to decide.
And-
We also are supposed to inform the applicant ahead of time when we're having this discussion for the future.
Okay, okay.
Well, that's lovely, but this is pretty obvious, and I think that we make very strong recommendation that there's no occupancy permit until this is resolved. And that we make it clear that this is the kind of service we get from Safe Built.
The other
They don't
thing is,
even bother looking at the plans.
the other thing that I noted was the COA called for, standing seam metal roof on the small shed dormers, various places, like the front. And it's all shingles, but the approved plans from Safe Built call for Class A shingles. I don't know that that's a big deal. The roof looks like it's, steep enough that shingles should be okay. But that was the only.
It's still a change.
Because what people are doing is exactly what we've been trying to avoid. We approve something and they go ahead and they change
They
it.
build something
They
different.
turn it into Safe Built, and Safe Built really doesn't care.
Literally, it comes back on the builder, because this isn't his first house, this isn't his first go around, so. We need to.
And the other one I asked you about. They have, he's got in two corners, he's got. Basically spotlights, and I suspect that they are probably security lights where they come on when somebody walks by, type of thing. Does that fall outside of our,
No, that's in
Compliance.
writing.
Was it?
Oh, it's very shots, it's outside of stuff.
Is it for construction only?
no, these are permanent.
Oh, they're permanent.
Yeah, yeah,
And I know that they're on, I don't know, I expect that they are on some kind of photocell or, probably a motion detector type of thing. So if it's give you the benefit of the doubt, if it's a security light, I would think that we couldn't rule against that. As being dark
I
sky,
would go,
because they're definitely not dark sky, I mean, it's,
then I'd go back to the dark sky.
Does it go across the
Take a
property
strong look at what the dark sky ordinance said.
This dark sky had a deal where we can't go across the property.
So if it shines across the parking line, we can go on that.
oh, it definitely would shine across the property.
Okay, then there's something there.
Okay,
Okay, so then we would need to take the dark sky and take a look at that much.
Anything else on that, Bob?
no, the other stuff I said is just the, the painting stuff that sticks to the wall.
Yeah, but that roof line is
The
just.
roof line's a
The
big.
roof line was a big thing, I didn't realize that until I actually took pictures and compared the pictures with the drawing.
Do we have the ability to reach out to Safe Built and say, hey, this isn't meeting things, you need to make sure that you don't give a CO on this?
They don't give COs.
I give CO.
You give the CO, okay, gotcha. But we've had a situation before where Safe Built has given a
Oh,
CO
yeah,
without.
they've given a permission to
Yeah.
demolish buildings.
The other thing, and I don't know how this got passed, because it's on everything. I think in the. Is it mill site residential? Anyway, I think the lot coverage is supposed to be a maximum of 35%.
I believe so.
This house is 39.88% lot coverage. And that's what it says all over everything.
Wow.
That's what it said all the way back to when it came to DRC. How it got by DRC, how it got by the town, how it got by Safeville. Is a mystery to me, but you know, the house is too big for the lot.
I don't think Safeville checks land use.
Yeah, Safefield point on that.
Yeah,
No, but we're supposed to.
We should have caught that.
We should have caught that. And I mean,
Before it even comes to us, we're supposed
I
to-
didn't see anything bringing it up in the. You know, looking back through the file.
You might have missed out.
They have downstairs, but.
Okay,
Okay,
what else? Minutes? Anybody look at the minutes?
yeah.
Did you have anything? I'm sorry.
nope,
Are you sure?
I have lots of things, not for you guys.
I didn't see anything.
Oh, what kind of whiskey do you like?
All kinds. I'm sorry.
Approve the minutes.
Okay, second,
Second,
any public discussion? Not? All those in favor say aye. Motion to adjourn. So moved.
Yes.
So moved.
We shut off this thing immediately. I would like to let everybody know